got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watch him chop up the flair. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film preps on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film prep, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film
Hey.
we keep it real.
Hey, everyone.
You know the deal.
Happy Tuesday. Hollywood on the Rocks After Dark on a Tuesday. An emergency episode. Alan Ng demanded we have an emergency episode. And he's here. Well, he will be here very soon. Because we have to talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. There's also movie news. Let's get to it. Let's start the show because I'm ready to go. Let's go. Well, he's somewhere.
Alan, I've been looking for you myself. Alan.
It worked.
There we go. Good on Mickey.
What you doing,
I'll be
man?
seeing Mickey in 2 weeks.
Yes, you will. I know. I will
Yeah.
mock you the whole time.
Oh my gosh. The internet, the X is not happy I'm going to Disney. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you're giving them a lot of money. What you
You have no idea.
What you have to do, document everything.
Oh, I
I
do.
want every receipt. I want the costs. I
Mhm.
want a whole breakdown. And then
Yeah.
we'll talk about it when you get back.
Okay. I'll give you the big one. Disney. So we're staying there for 5 days. 4-day park tickets. $4,700.
Wait, is that the tickets?
That's the hotel room and tickets. I'm not going to tell you where the hotel room is, but it's the hotel room and tickets. $4,700. That's a lot of money.
You could buy a car for that, man.
Yeah, you know, we were planning on going to Walt Disney World right as the pandemic started, and flight and hotel and tickets was $3,700 at that time. $3,600, and that included airfare. This
So
one
it's-
is just room and tickets.
So it's gone up by $1,000.
Yeah, well, like 1,500, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, what can you say? I'm not going.
I know.
I'm not going.
You could have.
I could have.
You could have.
I'd say hi to all the people watching, but there are not a lot of people watching because we changed the time and I got the date wrong and no one called me out. You should have corrected me. You know,
I
I'm
know.
juggling a lot right now.
Yeah, that's all right. The the way it works is the clip of our Spider-Man review will do better than the show.
The live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But we have a couple news stories to get to, but let's see who's here. Graham Wilson became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. Make sure you look at our members only videos. All my videos from Sundance. Did you watch those?
No.
I basically expose all the stuff that happens on Main Street.
Yeah, you told me about it. I haven't watched it yet, but
It's like all these things where it's like an exclusive lounge and
Mhm.
whatnot, get free drinks or a hat or a backpack. It's all data collection.
yeah,
It's all like, come in, give us your phone number, email, your name, what part of the
Right.
industry you're in, and get a hat and a, beer. And
Yeah.
then they collect all this data. Then you're on a list forever from Adobe or Dropbox or some BS or some film service.
Audible.
And by the way, it was dead.
Yeah.
Attendance was awful. Main Street was empty on a Friday night. I could not believe it.
Yeah, I gave you invites to 2 parties. Did you go to either of them?
I don't know because I crashed ones. I did party hop, but I wasn't paying attention. I'll just say that in-person events are dying, and part of it is Sundance is too friggin' expensive.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
It's too cold. And
Well,
it's
the
at the wrong
cold, I
time of
don't
the
care. The cold, I don't care.
Okay, but it's at the wrong time of the year too. I mean, we're in the middle of Sundance right now, believe it or not, and no one's talking about it.
It has not trended on social media. We have reviews on the site.
Yeah,
a considerable number actually. But
yeah, and then I don't get online access until tomorrow.
yeah. So thank you for becoming a member. Thank you to all our members. And a real quick reminder, Award This tickets are now on sale. Our annual awards event. We have a limited number of tickets left. Okay. Limited number. You can join the party, drinks, a gift bag, and you get to see the show with Zach Selwyn. Did you see this promo that he did?
Yes. Yeah, I did. No, I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. There's something else.
Okay.
Yeah. No. He posted something on his Instagram or whatever, but he is hosting the show. He's written songs for the show. We are upping the game in a huge, huge way. Can you fix the TV in the back?
Yeah.
You have to fix the TV.
It's saying TikTok is no longer available on
what?
This was a film that we shot on a $30K budget.
We're not going to get Oscars. We're not going to get Independent Spirit Awards. We don't have the huge budgets to get those awards.
While Hollywood continues to churn out sequels and franchise factory films, exciting and original indie movies of all kinds are being released in theaters, on demand, and on streaming, and we're here to celebrate them.
So crazy. Thank you so much.
I'm going to fill this with Mountain Dew.
First they ignore you, and then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then you win.
You guys help everyone in this room push the dream a little bit longer.
I think that Film Threat and Award This really are champions, true champions of independent film, which we've seen here.
Don't worry, folks. By next week, you will never see that promo again. So I am stalling to make sure more people find out that we're here.
We're doing okay.
I did say Tuesday night. God, here's one thing I'll address. Don't tell me that the date is wrong. Actually, just change it. I don't need to know that I made a mistake. You can just go in and fix it. Oh, we're going live. Why don't I fix it? Oh, the date is wrong. Don't observe that the date is wrong. Just change it.
Well, you know when I found out the date was wrong?
Yeah.
When you didn't show up on time, and I had to make sure. No, that's when I saw the date was wrong, and then you showed up, and then.
You know what? I got this shirt, the Award This shirt that says the Oscars can suck it. It's now my new favorite shirt. Go to shop.filmthread.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And a reminder that Emilia Perez is nominated for 13 awards.
And H.P. Lovecraft, this is a Spider-Man show. We're going to talk about Spider-Man, but we have a couple of news stories to discuss. One that I think we will take back up on Versus. Quentin Tarantino says 2019 was the last year of movies. I would tend to agree with him. This is from IndieWire, though it was reported everywhere. Quentin Tarantino, Hollywood film business has been dead for years. 2019 was the last fucking year of movies. And I would, this is January 28th, so that's today. And he had some comments at the Sundance Film Festival and talked about this. I'll read the salient part of his quote, which I think is really good. It's in a lot of stories here. He says, I'm in no hurry to actually jump into production. He's talking about his last film. I've been doing that for 30 years. Next month, my son turns 5, and I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. When I'm in America, I'm writing. When I'm in Israel, I'm an Abba, which means father. He goes on to say, the idea of jumping on a voyage when they're too young to understand it is not enticing to me. I kind of want to not do whatever movie I end up doing until my son is at least 6. That way he'll know what's going on. He'll be there and it will be a memory for the rest of his life. But his comments about movies in this last couple paragraphs, that's what everyone is talking about. He said, that's a big fucking deal pulling a play off. He talks about how he's writing plays. And I don't know if I can. So here we go. That's a challenge, a genuine challenge. But making movies, what the fuck is a movie now? What? Something that plays in the theaters for a token release for 4 fucking weeks? This is a quote, his language. All right. And by the second week, you can watch it on television. I didn't get into all this for diminishing returns. I mean, it was bad enough in 97. It was bad enough in 2019. And that was the last fucking year of movies. That was a shit deal as far as I was concerned. The fact that it's gotten dramatically worse and that it's a show, pony exercise. Now the theatrical release, and then in 2 weeks, you can watch it on this streamer. And that one, okay, theater, you can't do that. It's the final frontier. I agree with them. It even ties into what we're about to review, the Spider-Man show, animated show, where half the time people are on their phones. In an animated show, people are on their phones and sending emails. We'll get to that soon. But what do you think of these comments, Alan? And having just been at Sundance, they're not showing their best. I kept asking people, what is the buzz? What's the buzz? I didn't get one clear answer. What are your comments on Tarantino? What he has to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you put yourself in the shoes of Tarantino, this is an interesting article, because he's a filmmaker. He's always been a filmmaker. And it just sounds like he's lost the passion for filmmaking, and specifically because he makes a movie. Will it show in a theater? He owns a theater. I guess he could play it there, but it's not going to go. You don't have that theatrical release that goes on for several weeks. And so I get it. He's frustrated. And it's like, well, why not try something really challenging and write a play? Because what's the point? What's the point in doing all this work when there's nothing to show for it? And that's, that is the sad direction. And we're probably, I've been formulating this kind of story over the last few weeks that will impact a lot of what's going to happen in the movie business over this next year. But it's not looking good. And, we're going to be watching those numbers and just seeing that, I will tell you this, based on the story I'm putting together, Avatar will not hit $1 billion.
Really?
Yeah, will not hit $1 billion globally. And we'll go into it in a few weeks when I get this
as
together.
someone who has a private theater to see IMAX films in Orange County.
Yeah.
I see your pictures. You're the only guy in the theater. That is not a business that is sustainable. You can't sustain that.
I mean, the theaters are Regal, and it was during the pandemic when Regal had basically their closure list. Our little Yorba Linda theater was on that list, and it was built 2 years before, and I think the city just felt like we can't let this theater fail, and so they renegotiated the lease. But yeah, even with those good deals, I am often the only person in the screening, and it's not. It's the big Hollywood studio films that gets the audience, and unfortunately, that's all they're showing at that theater. I'm still traveling across town to see the smaller films. It's sad.
It's well, I'm lucky. The theaters I go to are very crowded, but it's near the industry.
Yeah.
You expect people in the industry to be there and support. So,
and I'm in freaking Yorba Linda. So,
yeah. So I don't know. I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was a great experience. I saw it in the Cinerama Dome, which was in the movie. and we even went to El Coyote, which is also in the movie. Went to eat there. We got margaritas and Mexican food, and I love that place. But yeah, the industry it's diminishing. Cinema, I think there will always be outliers. There'll always be like last year Oppenheimer or Godzilla -1. There'll be theatrical experiences or a Dune Part 2. But that is like few and far between. There aren't many filmmakers like Denis Villeneuve, Tarantino, Chris Nolan. Those are the Avengers of keeping cinema alive, and it's dying off. There's no one to replace them.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The only two movies this year that had success, that forced a longer run at the theaters, was Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. Everything else,
right?
Even Wicked is not getting the run it you would thought it would have.
Correct.
This is just a bad year. And look, the prospect that we're going to start getting really good movies is not on the horizon. Not until Superman and Fantastic Four come out. What do we have to look forward to? Because there will be big studio films, Captain America and Snow White.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but that's a long time to wait. And as much as I feel for these theater owners while they're raising the ticket prices and pouring out more popcorn buckets, you feel for them, but Hollywood ain't helping them out at all.
Let's go to your comments here as we continue this discussion. I'll start from the top.
Okay. Okay, here we go. My Life Matters. Hollywood never recovered from COVID.
True.
No,
it didn't. A lot of businesses did not.
But I'm going to submit that it's been bad movies. I mean, The Marvels should have been a good movie. All these, we can go down the list of all these movies that should have been a good movie. And you have the only movies are the outliers like Maverick, Oppenheimer, Barbie. The regular movies just aren't resonating. Daniel T. Actor Brian Cox was on Oxford Union on why actors have gotten lazy and everyone needs to learn to breathe.
Well, even Spielberg had comments about that the actors in the UK are more classically trained. They do the work, whereas actors in the US just want to be famous. And they tend to memorize their lines like on the set. They don't do the work.
Dildo Gaggins. He thinks Top Gun.
Can you repeat that?
What, Dildo Gaggins? He thinks Top Gun is gay.
He does. And parts of it might be. You seen that volleyball scene?
Yeah. Or the football scene.
We'll get to that. I'll save that one, Zach.
A football game with two balls, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Enriquez. Tarantino has a point, but he's also a filmmaker stuck in the past. His movies are about nothing but the past.
Well, he commented on that. They asked him, what is your favorite era to make films? Because he makes period movies, and he basically said anything before cell phones.
Yeah.
You will not see a cell phone in a Tarantino movie. By the way, I want to mention, he has a podcast he does with Roger Avery.
Yeah.
And the two of them recently were on Rogan like about a month ago. Great interview.
That was great. I
so
good.
good.
The whole thing.
So good. I listened to the whole thing myself.
I like his take on J6, but let's move on. 264. Tarantino's last movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was the last great experience I had with a crowd at the theater.
Yeah, same.
That was pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Southeastern Kaiju, but Godzilla -1 came out in 2023. That's my point.
Those are outliers. They're always going to be something good in a given year.
The reason they're outliers is because they're good movies.
Right.
That's what it takes to be an outlier today, is be a good movie.
Yeah.
Geek True 64. Honestly, I would say that 2018 may be the last year for movies. I started to notice a drop off in movie quality about that time. That's just me.
I think you're right. It was around that time.
Yeah, it seemed like Hollywood was just melting down at that point for some reason. ADLS24, shocker, the theater in the valley that are home to all the narcissists who make the movies still do well.
They do. They
Yeah,
go to see
they've got to go.
themselves.
They've got to go somewhere to see themselves 30 feet
Exactly.
tall.
Wait, here we got a super chat.
Yeah, D. Roy for 499. Marvel Rivals is giving a skin if you give them a movie ticket stub for Captain African American. Do you think it will bump the final total box gross? No.
No. That's a hard no.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you playing that game yet?
I started it. I'm kind of bored.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. My Life Matters. Deadpool and Wolverine's movie supposed to be a comeback for Hollywood. Instead, Ryan Reynolds turned into a horrible human being when a horrible human being when he's rich and famous.
Well, I have not gone down a huge rabbit hole of that. What is it? The movie Justin Baldoni and
Yeah, It Ends With Us.
Yeah. Remember when you and I saw it and you're like, what was this movie? I thought it was a romantic comedy.
Now you thought it was. I knew what it was.
I didn't know. But yeah, the more details that come out, the more I'm very disappointed, but not surprised.
Yeah, Dante was saying we need to have Steph on to explain what
this
whole thing.
Next week.
Oh, okay. ADL's 24. Well, okay. ADL's 24. Cinema should go back to being single theater with a better, albeit more expensive experience and get away from the multiplex model.
Well, theaters are moving toward deluxe experiences, right? Like what they call them premium theaters, IMAX, Dolby, reclining seats. Even the theaters that bring the refreshments to your seat, you order when you're like the Alamo Draft House. Although the Draft House laid off a bunch of people recently.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, they are. They're laying off a lot of staff. Get ready soon. If Captain America does not perform well,
which it won't,
there aren't any big movies until summer. I don't see how theaters survive. And I even look at the movies that you and I are seeing over the next couple of weeks. Dude, it's thin.
I'm sorry. A month after Captain America, just 4 weeks, is Snow White. How can you say there's nothing coming out?
Oh my God. Thanks, Adels.
Theaters may not do well, but I think we will. Bo Edmonds became a YouTube member. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Okay. We are going to pivot because we have a couple topics to talk. Well, one big topic to talk about before we get to our main topic.
Hashtag cancel Disney Plus.
What? Why did you just? What was the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know either.
There you go. Hey, there's a clip of Anthony Mackie going around that in which he essentially says Captain America does not represent America. And Captain America says this. I don't understand. I don't get it. So first of all, I want to watch the clip.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the clip. And then, well, before we do, there's before we, sorry about that.
You okay?
No, look, okay, let's start this over. There's a lot of political news. I got to show this clip because it deals with America. But look at this. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's Trump signing executive orders. Did you see how many executive orders?
Yeah.
These are crazy.
Okay, sir. This one says, now that the retards are out of the White House, everyone can say retard again with pride.
Hey, why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
This one says white people are now allowed to say the N-word once a month just to really get one out of the chamber. And it must be whispered with a black friend nearby.
That's a big one. We're opening up on one.
This is a good one, sir. Basically says if men have to put their height on the dating apps, women should have to put their weight. That's for quote unquote equality. If we can reach the top of the fridge, he should want to know if she's going to clean out the fridge. It's called the Rosie O'Donnell Fat Pig Act.
That's a big one.
Okay, this one says the LGBTQIA plus 2- umlaut community is now just going to be called the everything but straight people list. It's really just a time saver.
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
China will now be called China America.
Well, if China didn't approve it, we could put tariffs on China.
When we take over Greenland, it will now be called Red, White, and Blue Land.
Greenland is a wonderful place. We need it for international security.
This one says if you see a man wearing a COVID mask outside, you can have sex with his girlfriend because Lord knows him is not pleasing her any longer.
People have wanted to do this for years. What's this one?
This says we are bringing back the real gun emoji, getting rid of that weak Democrat woke water pistol bullshit.
We have to do what's right.
Oh, this one's interesting, sir. It says all the fat, bald feminists with 40 cats who hate men, they will now be put in the front lines during any war. They don't have family or kids, just cats, as I said. So let's put them to work.
And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a terror. And they're tough. They're very tough.
If somebody says you have to respect my pronouns, you are allowed to fart in their mouth, sir.
Stranger things have happened. The women keep it down a lot.
This one says if a woman divorces you and takes half your stuff, she's required to have sex with you half the time. Fair is fair, sir.
If we create that value, why aren't we entitled to like half? Thank you very much, everybody.
It was Tyler Fisher. His I don't know if you watch his follow him on social media. So, but let's reset here. I have to reset
and watch him in Lady Ballers.
Lady Ballers. It's okay. Lady Ballers is okay.
Yeah.
So okay. I have to set up here. Okay, I have to set up here. So
yeah.
You were gonna say.
I was gonna say, yeah, we should do that.
We should do that.
Yeah, I'm just filling in. I want to stop using my inner monologue to vamp and fill in empty space. But I feel like I'm going to do it right now.
Okay. All right. This has been making the rounds on social media. A lot of people discussing it. Anthony Mackie, of course, is coming out he's the star of Captain America: Brave New World, and made a comment that is riling people up. He says Captain America does not represent America. And from Libs of TikTok, posted the clip. This must have been at a special screening. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's on the overseas.
Wait, we can watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I believe it's on the overseas press tour for Captain America.
Yeah. So I have not watched the clip, but I'll say you and I have been to many Q&As for movies. We've seen celebrities basically play to certain audiences, and it's possible in context, or this was taken out of context. And when you see those Q&As, you could kind of pull some stuff out, right? He's trying to play to an international audience. Let's watch the clip and see. And by the way, I like Anthony Mackie. I think he's beloved as an actor in the role of Falcon. The role of Captain America is unproven to me and a lot of people. So let's look at this.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things. And I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no. when you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons. That's not a sword. And that princess is not there. And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, you know, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I got the context. I don't agree with this.
Well, the thing is, I happen to know that Anthony Mackie's very based. Have you seen him in interviews?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I saw this, I was surprised. I was like, you know, this was like, Anthony, I was with you. And now I'm questioning you right now. And I have a few things to say about it, but go ahead.
Okay. No, I just want to like play a clip from another show where before you get, because I know that you got something to show me, I believe.
Right.
Right?
But I have something to say about that clip.
Okay. I think he was playing to the international audience. He didn't want to sound like he was coming off like a nationalist. I'm not defending him. I'm saying I understand he was trying to play to a certain crowd. I may not agree with what he was saying, but he was essentially, you know, trying to sell the movie to non-Americans. Let's watch this clip. It's a minute from the Wendy show. I think he's very based.
First of all, is that clip before 2016?
It's from about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I happen to like him. Now you were telling me.
Well, no, I want to no. Pull that back.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about what he said, because you know, having now heard the whole thing, I still feel the same way. It's, you know, it reminds me of when Superman could no longer say truth, justice, and the American way.
Right.
You know, it's the denigration of America. It's the idea that America doesn't have a very specific value. Same thing happens with Captain America, because I believe at some point recently, within the last 10 years of Captain America, he more or less kind of dropped the whole America thing as well. But the thing, look, okay, let's get political and sociological here.
Okay,
I'm an immigrant. Both of my grandfathers came to America 100 years ago, and when they came here, things weren't exactly so great for them. You know, there were laws in place. They couldn't own land. They couldn't receive they couldn't become citizens because they were Chinese. They're specifically Chinese. But to what Anthony Mackie was saying was, you know, he said Captain America is not America. You know, he describes the character as the moment in which someone could no longer say no to him. And to me, that's America. You know, my grandparents, both of them living in China, could not become who they were today in America, they're dead, but they couldn't become today in America if they were living in China. There was just nothing in China that would allow them to do this. And I would imagine that for all the other immigrants that came to America, it was the same thing. They were constantly being told no. But it's this American dream. It's the idea that if you work hard in America, you can make your dreams come true. You can become somebody and someone. And both of my grandparents, with not a dime to their name, came to America, worked hard, one built a restaurant, the other ran an illegal casino up and down the coast of California. But all of my aunts and uncles, every single one of them, all of them went to college. All of them got good jobs. Half of them went into teaching. My mom went into computers, where women, especially Asian women, were not even considered, but she broke into that field. And to Anthony Mackie's point, he's saying that's not America. And I'm saying, no, it is America, because that could have only happened here. So there you go. God bless America, everybody. So I think he's wrong. And I think, I hope in the next 4 years, we start becoming proud to be an American once again.
I think that's already, I mean, you saw the executive orders that Trump earlier was signing. So many ones you didn't even know about. But I am told Anthony Mackie, just like an hour ago, clarified his statement. Can you bring that up, Alan?
Yeah, let me.
He clarified, and also just I interviewed him once. When I was at G4, he was in that. God, I forget the name of the movie, but he watched which was weird. He watched G4, which was funny, but this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Anthony Mackie clarifies his viral Captain America comment. I'm a proud American. If you would read this,
Sure.
Alan.
Okay, for Hollywood Reporter, the actor turned heads when he previously said, "To me, Captain America represents a lot of things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations." Let me be clear about this. I am a proud American, and I'm taking on the shield of a hero like Cap. Taking on the shield of the hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. Mackie wrote in the Instagram story Tuesday. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. The statement comes after, To me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think America. Okay, we got that. Let's see. Is that all he said? Okay, so Marvel's Italian social media account posted clips of actors' interview. The edited version reads, "For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable." And then, he goes on to say what we went through, what we watched.
Yeah, I think people are overreacting to this. I guarantee people say stupid things at all these press junkets. He was playing to his audience. I don't think he said anything necessarily anti-American, but he should. I mean, he could have acknowledged and said, "Hey, I'm proud to be American."
Yeah.
And he says when he clarified, "I'm a proud American." So,
yeah. I mean, if you watch the clip again, I think when he said that America, I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. There was a good 10 to 15 seconds of stuttering. And I think that's the realization that he just stuck his foot in his mouth.
I think also people are just now getting used to the idea it might be okay to come out as a proud American.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the closet. It's so funny because we talk about certain types of people in America having to be in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the saddest things was to be a patriot, to be a proud American, to be proud of this country. You'd have to almost be closeted especially in Hollywood. That ends. It ended on November 5th. It's over. We're done. We are proud, and we're not perfect, but we're proud.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'll be honest. China is a shithole country, and I would never want to go there. I love America, and I'm here to stay.
Well, same.
Yeah.
Let's go to your comments here, starting with this super.
Yeah. C Black for 5. Mackie misspoke. He's not that type of guy. He corrected himself 30 minutes ago. Is it okay to call the guy Captain African America or other names?
A lot of YouTubers do that. My friend Gary does. I don't want to do it. I just don't think he's Captain America. I think he's a really good as Falcon. I bought the Captain America and the Falcon comic book off spinner racks when I was a kid with money for my paper route. And that was one of my favorites. That, the Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange, Thing 2-in-1. I could go on and on. I even had the Mego Cap and Falcon figures. He was a great character. He was one of the only characters in comics that wasn't Black this.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the Black Lightning, Black Panther, no, how about just the Falcon? It's a cool name. So yeah, I don't do it, but I don't, try to tell other people what to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I'm only responsible for my words, and I have a very diverse friend group. If you watch Versus, if you see Film Thread, my friend group is all over the map. I don't police other people on their speech. I wouldn't say they couldn't say something. I mean,
Well,
I know
yeah.
why they're saying it. It's to make a point. I
Well,
don't do it.
also they did it in the comics not too long ago when they aged up Steve Rogers, made him an old man. Someone had to replace him, and it was Falcon. And you knew it was all done for woke reasons, and that I think that's the reason people hate this for the most, because it's not that he necessarily earned the title of Captain America. He didn't earn the title of Captain America. He was a great character, but look, we got boxes to check. We got to make Captain America woke, so let's make him black. And poor Falcon is thrown into that.
Thanks, C Block. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Some Norwegian guy for one on Rumble. Captain NATO. There you go.
Hey, D-Pain.
Knee pain. Let's create Captain San Francisco that flies around by being triggered by everything and reacts to every scenario with excessive virtue signaling.
That could be a real hero.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Like crying, I think, is a superpower. Jack the Tech. People don't want it to fail. People want good movies, but that's not what we're getting, and we can see this film got the DEI treatment. Falcon being Cap never worked in the comics either.
Yeah, I just think it's bad storytelling.
Yeah,
it's not earned. It's not earned.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Marco CCS 65. DC changed it to Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow.
And they changed it back.
Yeah. Yes. Geek Truth 64 again. I like Mackie. I don't know if it was poorly worded or it was told by Marvel Disney to distance America for some dumb reason. Either way, it sounds bad. Yeah, I think he just misspoke, and I think he caught himself and realized he just said something dumb.
And the fact that the correction was so swift was nearly the same day.
Yeah. ADLS 24. The Alamo Drafthouse model is also failing. Too many screens and staff.
And bad movies.
Yeah, and they got rid of the good food on the menu.
Yeah, huge mistake. Okay, now let's get to our main topic. Yes. It's time to talk Spider-Man. But first, this message from our sponsor. I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts. Alan, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is here. You and I have it's a Marvel animation. It's from their studio. It is a retelling of the origin of Spider-Man and his early days. Peter Parker is the only white person in New York City. If I took so many notes, when I start, and by the way, we will be doing spoilers, light spoilers for the show, because when I tell you what I've just seen, it is the wokest piece of garbage ever to come from Marvel.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's a piece of garbage, and the wokeness is not as bad as we think.
But there's a lot of it. So
there's a lot of it, yeah.
There's a lot of it, and there's a lot of lore breaking, and let's get into it.
I'll start off by saying Harry is a dude.
Let's get to the story.
I know, but we're just gonna get the big one out of the way. He's a dude. He's not trans. There we go. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's just go all over the map and
let's do that.
How about a proper review? Okay, so Peter Parker is a young man, starts a new school. He's going there for orientation. A battle takes place between Doctor Strange and some mysterious black, maybe venom-like creature. And somehow a little spider, he meets a young woman, goes to protect her, Miko, an Asian woman, and a little spider falls on the back of his neck, bites him, and he gets superpowers. And when he gets the powers, guess what? Uncle Ben died a while ago. There's no motivation. There's nothing that drives him to become Spider-Man other than he thinks it's cool. And to be clear, the world in which this Spider-Man exists is the present, where people use cell phones and emails and social media, and YouTube is a huge part of every episode of this show. You begin to meet Peter Parker's friends. Like I say, he's the only white guy in the entire city other than Aunt May. And you meet a young woman, Pearl, who he has a crush on, who now has a boyfriend named Lonnie Lincoln. And he has a brother named Dre. He's black, by the way. And the brother named Dre may be getting involved in a gang. We meet all these characters. We meet Harry Osborn, who looks like a chick. He has earrings, a man bun, and his very feminine clothes, but he's a guy. We meet Norman Osborn, played by actor Coleman Domingo. I like Coleman Domingo a lot.
It was a good performance. Yeah.
Really good performance. But literally, in scenes of groups of people, you literally, it's like DEI came in. We need an Asian, black, an Indian, Middle Eastern with a hijab. Like, it's literally the cast of characters and the attention to detail is something that stood out. There's people who wrote this seem to have more interest in the side characters that support Peter. Peter Parker / Spider-Man is a guest star in this show where all of the black, brown, other types of people kind of take center. At one point in one episode, one character named Pearl stops and tries to talk about her Filipino heritage for no reason. It's virtue signaling to the nth degree, and there's attention to detail. Like, one thing that just stuck out because every scene, the hairstyles of all the so-called non-white characters, it's almost a fetish for this show. The hair and it's like Peter Parker from the old comic books was thrust into present day New York and just trying to survive. The other thing that drove me crazy, we're not getting too specific here. The other thing, it seems like all of his non-white friends feel the need to take the time to lecture him about how he is supposed to be and act. In addition, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, through no motivation, someone else comes up with his costume. Someone else comes up with, like, everything that Spider-Man did in the comics is now done by someone else. It's shocking. It's weird. It's such a it's literally like, and by the way, this takes place in a world where all the events that we are aware of in the MCU take place, but without Spider-Man. They make reference to Civil War, the what do they call the Accords?
Sokovia Accords.
Sokovia Accords are part of it.
It mentions the battle at the airport that Spider-Man was a part of, but Spider-Man wasn't a part of it.
Not in this universe. So it's a multiverse. So Doctor Strange is in it. We see an appearance by Iron Man. There are other appearances, but I'll give you a couple examples. We meet Dr. Connors. Dr. Connors was a character. We know the Lizard from Spider-Man comics and whatnot, who has one arm. Dr. Connors is now a black woman. We meet Rhino. Rhino uses tech from Dr. Octavius, and Rhino ends up being a jacked Russian woman who wears a helmet that shoots lasers like a rhino. On all levels, I'm not telling you even the story because it's all CW drama high school.
It's a soap opera. It's a soap opera.
It's a soap opera. And I don't care. But there seems to the people lovingly, the people behind this show lovingly put all this effort into building up all the non-Spider-Man character. Like, I care about Peter Parker. He's a guest star in his own show. I'm doing the broad strokes here to tell you this is hot garbage. It was probably done a long time ago. I don't know if they will just dump this all at once.
It's 10 episodes dumped in 4 weeks.
So over the course of 4 weeks, we will see all 10. Alan and I have watched all 10. It sounds as if they have future seasons planned.
Yeah.
But I just there were so many moments. I'll get to them. That's my first impression. Alan, what is your first impression?
Yeah, my first impression.
Here's what I call it. Here's what I call it. They might as well rename the show Spider-Man and His Amazing Black and Brown Friends, or as I call it, Spy-DEI Man is here.
All right. So
what did you think, Alan?
What did I think? For fans of Spider-Man who read it long ago, like I did, Spider-Man is dead. The heart of Spider-Man, the whole Uncle Ben being dead long before the show ever started is the first thing that stuck out to me, and the first thing they killed right at the first 10 minutes. Look, with what is it? With great power, there must also come great responsibility. That's Spider-Man's moral code. That's what he bases his whole code as a superhero as. It's gone. There's remnants of it in this that will piss you off, piss me off. But Spider-Man has no moral code. He's just a good kid who wants to do good things. What replaces great power, great responsibility is be the best you. Find out, become who you are and who you're meant to be. That seems to be the code of all of Disney Marvel at the moment. The thing is heroes are born out of adversity. Spider-Man was born out of the death of Uncle Ben. Without that, there's nothing for Peter Parker to really become a true hero, other than the fact that he's a kid who likes to do good things. And he has a hard time doing good things. And sometimes he's tempted to not do good things. But it's that connection he has with Uncle Ben, the fact that he could have prevented his death, that drives him to make the decisions that he does. And it's gone. It's not there. He's a high school student. In terms of DEI, there's a rule in current diversity that states this: in order for your show to be diverse, you can have white characters. In fact, it could star a white character. You need black characters, and you can have either Asian or Latinx characters, but you can't have both. And so Spider-Man here, he has Asian friends, but he has no Latinx friends. Or Latino friends. I know Polly's watching. Okay. I'll do a quick spoiler here. So in episode 1, here's Lonnie. He's lucky to be at this school. The school that they're attending is for higher education, for high intelligence. He's a football player, highly intelligent football player. And when school ends, he gets on the subway, and people look at him funny because he's black. He gets off the subway and he's followed by the cops. Why? Because he's black. And so it's just known that people are just looking at him because he's black. And this is Peter's best friend, and so there's this systematic racism story. So through events, Lonnie is no longer his friend. And so now Peter is no longer the friend of the poor, oppressed black student. He is now the friend of the rich black student who has everything. It's like, did anyone read the script? Did anyone read the overall story and not get these little things, these little contradictions that occur? To juxtapose it in those extreme directions shows that the writing in the show is the worst thing about the show. Look, the animation, I'm okay.
The animation
I
was
got you.
fine. It's
You know,
I even like
limited. It's that limited animation, but given the computer and the 3D technique, I'm fine with that. The problem with this show is the writing. The foundations of the story are bad. The dialogue is bad, and the way this is a soap opera where characters go from one situation to the next, but there is no growth in any of these characters. There's no fatal flaw. There's no hero's journey. It's just, oh, bad guy here, bad guy there. Oh, secret identity. You know, can we trust Norman or can't we? You know, oh, look, certain superheroes are here. Yay. You know, that's what this show is. And it's like, look, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you could absolutely skip this because this is not the Spider-Man you grew up with.
It isn't Spider-Man. It's the death of Spider-Man. And the biggest offense, I took, I can't believe how many notes I took. I'll go through them. But the first thing I want to say is Peter Parker / Spider-Man does not motivate anything in the series. He is he's not the motivator. He doesn't create the costume. He doesn't have the character building that came from Uncle Ben's death. Even that classic line, which is reworded about responsibility, comes from someone else. And it's offense. It's unbelievable that they gave that line to a different character in the show.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. He has no ideas of his own. He allows Oscorp through Norman Osborn. They call it, welcome to the team. They're basically telling Spider-Man what to do. He's merely a tool of Oscorp who sends him on missions that he does. He doesn't motivate his own future or anything. He goes through a series of costumes. We finally get to the classic costume at the end, but he had none of the ideas.
Yeah. Well,
he is merely reacting. And not only that, he is constantly lectured by other characters about how he should be. It's like, I guess this is like what being maybe a minority white kid would be in a school.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I'm being serious. Is that?
Yeah, no, because he can't say anything.
He's being told you're bad and you have to listen. He sits there, I'll listen. Like there were so many scenes where people were just telling Peter, do this, do that. Okay. It was weird. It was real. It was like the people who wrote this had no interest in Spider-Man, no interest in Peter Parker. They only cared about all these side characters and their stories, like Lonnie Lincoln and his brother Andre Dre, who gets involved in a gang. They join this gang. There are gang fights. There's all these. It's a melodrama for teens.
Yeah, let me describe it this way. A story, a show, a television show, a movie is like a river. There's a river that runs through it, and that's the story. And your protagonist either goes along with the river and just lets the river take them from one place to the other, or your protagonist tries to redirect the river, try to move try to have an influence on that river, which is that story. And in this thing, he just goes along with it.
Right.
Spider-Man is inconsequential to a lot of things here, other than the fact that you could have swapped him out with some other hero and still have the same story being told here. Look, Chris, how many times did you count him crawling up a wall?
Not many. There were.
Yeah.
I didn't count.
Okay. How many times did you see him stand there and you see the Spidey sense come out of him?
Never.
I mean, you've taken three things that are kind of iconic with Spider-Man, and you've removed it. You removed Uncle Ben. You removed the spidery things like climbing up a wall, and you removed Spidey sense. They're there. It's there. He can climb a wall. I guess he has spider sense, but that's when you know that the people who are writing this series don't know a damn thing about Spider-Man, other than what they've seen in Civil War and in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it's a colossal disappointment. It isn't Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It is taking the old classic Spider-Man as he would have been, as as we know Peter Parker with his sort of hair. He's got the haircut and look of the old Spider-Man we remember from the comics, but he sets him in modern day where he's this wimpy kid that lets other people tell him what to do and how to be. He's defined by everyone around him, not by anything that motivates. He's not a hero. He literally is not a hero other than I have superpowers. There's even a scene where he there's a set piece in one of the later episodes where he fights Scorpion, but he doesn't fight him alone. With just a friend of his fights him.
Yeah,
like
he is saved by someone else in almost every case.
Yeah, he is, and then you're like, well, who is this? The point is, Spider-Man is not the center of the show called Spider-Man. That's the bottom line. And I could go through my notes. I'm telling you, it's so dumb. I you know what? I'm not. We'll talk about it more. But I gotta say, I'm just a colossal disappointment. I think somehow this may resonate with Gen Z because this is Spider Wimp. It's Spider Wimp.
Look, Gen Z, they know weak storytelling. That's why they flock to anime and not to anything Americans make, because they know they want some more depth in their stories. I mean, again, let's just say we go back to episode 1, and Uncle Ben is the mentor, the father of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker, and he dies, and Peter Parker could have saved him, and now he's driven by that. Can you imagine what that and how now that affects the entire story in this show? It would give you a much more exciting show, a much more intriguing show. But no, it's just a kid with superpowers. There you go. I mean, Disney's good at that. Look, my kid is watching Lab Rats again. Okay, that's the kind of depth that Spider-Man has.
Well, look, the thing is that they took Harry Osborn and feminized him, made him a social media star and a rich kid. They took the one interesting friend of Peter Parker, Lonnie, and made him get involved in gang violence, which is so cliche.
Yeah, and it was a little 180-degree turn.
Yeah, he was this good football star, like friend to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He was a nice.
He had morals. He was a great guy. He looked out for the little guy.
He was like a good version of Flash Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
But kudos to them for creating an original character. But effectively, Mary Jane is Asian, and I didn't even realize that was supposed to be Mary Jane. It's Miko. No, it's original character, but it's effectively a stand-in for Mary Jane.
But I don't think it's Mary Jane. I don't think that character is Mary Jane.
It's not Mary Jane in name. It's
in
archetype.
Well, no, I mean, when you look at Mary Jane's story in the comics, I don't think Nico will follow that path.
Well, we'll see. I'm looking at my notes. It's just the first thing I wrote down was spy DEI man. So, colossal disappointment. People will not be talking about this a month from now.
Yeah.
And it's I'll just say this. People saying it's not woke, you're crazy. It's woke gold. So there you go.
Yeah. I will
Final
say this.
thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, I think the people that will really like this series are the people with social media accounts.
And the fact that, like, I'm not going to say what the climax or ending of the show is. The ending of the show involves people getting an email. So much of the show. I mean, this is a show where people are on their phone in every episode. Social media is a part of it. People are emailing. It's boring. It's boring to watch, to have drama centered around social posts, YouTube videos going viral, and technology invading your life. And Spider-Man is the most boring character in the whole show. And I feel like it was done by design.
Yeah. Okay. So just to say that when you do an animated series, generally 2 seasons are done at one time. So my guess is there is going to be a second season.
Especially the way it ends.
Yeah. And the second season has probably already been finished.
Let's go to your comments here, starting with Supers.
Rathek 7 for 5. I'm black, and I find it offensive that most of Peter's black friends are either race bent white or actual black villains.
Yeah, they made so they race bent or they race swapped a bunch of characters, and then the original character they make a criminal, and he starts out as a good character, he's a likable character.
Yeah, I mean that
race
him becoming a gang member, seen it many times. There's nothing special about it. Heartbreak Ridge, I could write you. You'll know the where that character goes because you've seen it so many times. Heartbreak Ridge, remember for 6 months. Yet again, writers have no love for the franchise they're writing for. So sad. Absolutely.
They were more interested in everyone else but Peter.
Yeah. Hosa Taco for 2. Remember for 2 months. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Should I watch this so I can criticize it? Don't want to criticize it unless I see it. Bring back Spectacular Spider-Man from Sony.
Yeah, it's fair. You should watch for yourself. I agree with that.
Yeah, but if you have heart problems, I would say don't. If you consult a doctor before watching it. From Rumble, Wesley, 1924 for 2. Did we ever figure out if Harry Osborn is a man or a woman? Man.
What's funny is you could just change the voice. I wonder if the voice, why did they make him so feminine? What was the point of that?
Well, because he's a social media influencer. C Black for 2. Chris, Fantastic Four trailer for the Super Bowl.
I think that will happen. I also think we'll see it in front of Captain America.
Feel like we'll get a teaser and then we'll get a full Captain America trailer.
Or a full trailer for Fantastic Four in front of Captain America.
Or better yet, Snow White. Rathek 7 for 5. Lonnie isn't an original character. He's the villain Tombstone. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a lot of little Easter eggs for stuff like that.
I mean, when he gets named Tombstone, I'm like, really? I don't get that, but okay. Blue Sunrise for 2. The art really turns me off. You get used to it. If you've been watching the limited animation from the 70s, the 60s, and 70s, Akanika, Alan is right. A story needs some kind of conflict.
Yeah.
ADL's 24. This is a real headline on Collider. My biggest fear was that it was going to be annoying and woke. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man star shares his praise of the series.
It's I don't know who was reading that, but it's super woke.
Yeah.
Did you say it's super woke?
No, because it's not LGBT. That's the box that's not checked in this one. Yet, but at the moment, there's a box that has not been checked, and that's the one. Jack the Tech. They crapped all over the lore and made Spider-Man for modern audiences. Yes.
True.
Beaver Gladiator. How many disabled? Well, a lot of them
what's that?
A lot of them become disabled, if not dead.
One at the beginning, Dr. Connors, who's a black woman for no reason.
With half an arm. Yeah.
And then Rhino is a woman. It's just I don't know, mix it up. Because I don't know, bring in new characters. They're cool.
Yeah. Stop the obvious foreshadowing. Spike Insanity. Of course, Spidey privilege.
Yep.
Yeah. Ben H. Spider-Man is a money printer. How do they still mess it up? Yeah. C Black for 2. Thoughts on Sinners trailer?
I love that trailer. The new one is really good. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan, 2 things. One, he plays twin brothers in the movie, and you see them hug. There's a scene where he's shooting a machine gun, and then you see him cowering in fear. I don't even really know what the story is. I don't want to know. It looks like a Night of the Living Dead caught in a place where there's something outside, some kind of force. It's an original, as far as I know, original story. It looks, I can't wait for that movie.
Speaking of actors who play two roles. Did you see the Robert De Niro trailer for his new movie?
That looks dumb. It looks so stupid.
It's like why? Yeah. Part of it, if you're going to cast him in two roles, I need to get a sense of why you needed to cast him in two separate roles. I get the Michael B. Jordan. I don't get Robert De Niro.
No, Sinners looks good. Original horror. It's Ryan Coogler Unchained, so to speak, from Disney. Now he can do what he wants, making this movie for, I believe it's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, make good movies again.
I don't know. I think Coogler is a talent. And, we look at Creed and Fruitvale Station. So it looks good.
I mean,
I don't want to see any more, though. I don't want to see any more.
I mean, quite frankly, Black Panther 2 is his only,
that's the worst. That movie sucks.
Pilgrim Media for 2. Will all Disney movies fail in 25?
I think Fantastic Four has a shot.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Thanks, Pilgrim.
Rathix. How about that one? Rathix for 2. Nico is bisexual in the comics. Oh, come on.
Is that true?
I have no idea. Is she one of the runaways ultimately, or is she?
I don't know. Oh my. Well, she might be. She likes guys in season 1. Maybe it gets super woke in season 2.
Yeah, I mean, is she? I mean, the name sounds familiar. Maybe she is part of the runaways. I have no idea.
I just didn't pay attention. I thought the Rhino was the dumbest with that helmet shooting. She's like Cyclops, but you're like a rhino.
No, but then she says, "No, I'm like a unicorn."
Yeah,
and I think she's going by the name Unicorn in the show.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. Jeff, his whole motivation is gone with Uncle Ben. That's something that people have been. I mentioned this on X, and people have been saying that I'm over. The Uncle Ben thing is overrated, and trying to convince me.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, that Aunt May was more of his guiding, his moral compass than Uncle Ben, and then Uncle Ben was just dead. That's the criticisms I'm getting. Yeah. Holy Wars, rhinos, a friggin' laser beam with rhinos with friggin' laser beams on their head. Dr. Evil.
Yes, and final comment here.
Zachary Bloom, is this the gayest Spider-Man ever?
Well, is it?
Yes, 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 yes.
I guess the answer is yes.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, sorry everybody. I feel bad for Spider-Man fans.
Yeah, I think this is gonna go away quick.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta get it out. They'll get it out there. It is what it is, and I feel like this will not stand the test of time.
Yeah, and I predict that social media influencers will get on us once again about us not thinking this is the greatest Spider-Man ever made, because he was always woke.
Yeah, everything was always woke. Patrick O'Meara, it's like saying that Superman being from Krypton is overrated. Krypton. I like saying Krypton. Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. We will be back on Friday with a live show, normal time. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow I will be on the Nooner, but Alan has some personal business to take care of. So he needed the day off. But you are watching the Nooner.
I am the first part of it. Doctor's appointment. Let's just put it that way.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Yeah. So we will be back Friday for our normal Film Threat live cast. And this Sunday, Award This is happening. If you cannot go, please watch it live with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Any final words, Alan?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
I'm not ready.
Not that one. Well, we're watching Companion, or actually, we've both seen Companion.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, and I believe tomorrow you and I are seeing different Chinese movies.
We will be very Chinese on Friday, so it'll be a fun day. See you Friday. Thank you for tuning in to Hollywood on the Rocks After Dark. No show tomorrow, but we're back on Friday and everything's normal schedule from there. Alan?
What? Let's get out of here.